Stafford Summers East Windsor football team is off to a great start this year. 2 games, 2 wins.
And the Bulldogs will look to stay unbeaten tomorrow night against Gilbert Northwestern. Channel 3's Elliot Polikoff is here now to show us how the team takes a unique approach to rewarding hard work. Hey there, Elliot.
Hey, yeah, Mark and Aaron, you look at all levels of football these days, what happens after the whistle gets just as much attention as the actual plays being run on the field. That is definitely the case for the Stafford Summers East Windsor Bulldogs, but it's for a good reason. He's only rushed 3. It used to be, if you made a good play on the football field, maybe you got a pat on the back. Now, you get to wear the turnover chain, or even sit in the turnover throne. For the Stafford Summers East Windsor Bulldogs, head coach Brian Mazzone has not one, but 3 awards he gives out after each week of practice. The Loose Change Award for most forced turnovers, the Hard Hat Award for Scout Team Player of the Week, and, new this year, the Championship Belt for Practice Player of the Week. And it's safe to say, all 3 rewards are hot commodities.
You have to rub it in the faces of a couple other kids to make them work harder next week.
We have a couple of kids who are really obnoxious when they win loose change, and they like to remind you that they won it. And I think last year one kid won it 5 times, and he did not shut up about it.
Usually, it's one of the senior leaders who ends up taking home the hardware. But regardless of if a player hears his name called, the effect these awards have on the whole team is undeniable.
Kind of like a friendly competition. And it's also like an incentive to like do good and like help your teammates out.
We're all friendly. There's never, you don't see like fighting on the field. There's never that. We're all really close group of friends. It just kind of brings a little more fun to the game.
And if that's the case, well then Mazzone has accomplished what he set out to do.
Kids in general, any sport you play in high school, they don't like practice. So I think it has added to that where they're excited. They want their picture online. They want to be able to show their girlfriends. They want to show their parents. That was kind of the purpose that I had in doing this.
So Coach Mazzone actually said he came up with that WWE belt idea after going to WrestleMania with his college buddies. So I thought that at Channel 3 here, we should come up with a trophy for the most takeaways, and I'm going to grab this from you guys.
What?
Just saying. I'm gonna leave now.
Considered a welcome gift to you, Elliot.
It's on, guys. I'm coming prepared and with a lot of hard work.
We love it. Also want to quickly mention tomorrow night we're going to be in Naugatuck.
Our FNF Cheerleaders of the Week. To nominate your school, download our Channel 3 Sports app. We head to Stafford now as Stafford East Windsor Summers hosted SMSA University Classical. This one's all Bulldogs. Scoreless here. Stafford goes to work. Colton Engel, the quarterback, holds his own number. Nice run. Stafford's in business. Same drive. The Bulldogs get closer. It's Engel again. This time getting dragged out of bounds after another big gainer. And then finally on the drive, Julian Reves runs it in for the touchdown. Stafford is leading. They're not done. Later in the game, Engel with a swing pass to Revis. He goes in for another touchdown. Stafford looking impressive at home. And then Engel again, this time deep. And finding who else? There he is. There's Julian again. That deal on fire tonight. Part of a big game for Stafford East Windsor Summers. They get the win at home, 47-6.
Voted for our Subway Game of the Week. So this week we are heading to the Pico League as the Stafford East Windsor Summers Co-op welcomes the Rockville Rams. Our Gabrielle Lucivero joins us now from Stafford Springs. Gabby, I hear this is more than just a football game for 2 of our coaches.
Yeah, John Henry, we've got a reunion on our hands tonight. Both head coaches, well, they used to be assistants together at Ellington. Now, of course, the head coach for this co-op team, well, he is in his 4th season, and so far, so good for Brian Mazzone. His team is off to a 5-0 start, and that's something that his team credits to having a strong group of returning starters and to having a lot of team chemistry.
We've had like the same pretty similar core group of kids since we played back when we were like 8 and 9 years old. So we all know each other very well. We're all really good friends.
You know, you have those guys that you can rely on to play, and you're not worried about like a rebuild year, as people call it.
Mazzone's coaching buddy Eric Knickerbocker, well, he is rebuilding in his 1st season as the head coach of the Rockville Rams. Now, the Rams, they have not had a winning season since 2004. They went 1-9 last season, but this year they're off to a 4-1 start.
It's just trusting each other. It's all that really matters. If we trust each other, we trust the coaches, we're gonna be successful.
We really don't have any respect right now, but what we need to do is try and gain it and let everyone know that we're not 1-9 Rockville anymore.
Now, Coach Knickerbocker, he has coined the term Restore the Rock. John Henry, we're going to see if that restoration process continues tonight. This game, it kicks off in just a few minutes. Live in Stafford Springs, Gabrielle Lucivero, NBC Connecticut Sports.
7 Subway High School game of the week. You sent us to catch undefeated Stafford, East Windsor Somers Co-op hosting 4-1 upstart Rockville. The Rams get off to a great start this year in their quest for their first winning season since 2004. And they get off to a great start in this game as Kiwan Green takes the pitch and scoots 8 yards for the score, 7-0 Rockville. Second quarter, Bulldogs respond. Colton Engel hits Cody Gibo, who wriggles in for the 13-yard TD. Stafford led 23-7 at half, but rally time in the fourth quarter. Ben Ambro to Jaquan DeFord, 75 yards, touchdown. 2-point conversion cut Stafford's lead to 8. But Stafford, too much on this night. Engel hits Gibo for his second TD of the night. Stafford stays undefeated, 6-0 with a 30-15 win over Rockville.
North Brantford and Stafford, and we're having a little trouble reading the numbers tonight. North Brantford adding a little brown to that purple and white. It was mud pit city all over the place. But you know who loves mud is Julian Rivas. He sloshes through the slop here for the first down. And then from inside the 2, you know, sometimes when it's raining, you just got to put meat on meat and see who's stronger. And this time, it was Stafford. Rivas scores again, puts Stafford ahead for good. A 21-6 victory for the Bulldogs, who will go for an unbeaten season, by the way, before they get ready for the playoffs. They get Windsor Locks the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, and North Brantford will play at Coggins to finish their season.
And then we go to the other side of it there. You've got Adam Killingworth, Stafford, East Windsor, Somers. That's the other side of that bracket.
Yeah. 2 dream seasons from the Pequot Collide. You have Adam Killingworth, 10 wins, 10-1, best season in school history. They have a big line. They love to run the ball with Dalton Muldean and Toby Callender, the quarterback. And then they run up against the Stafford team, which, listen, just a few years ago, 4 years ago, before Brian Mazzoni got there, they were 0-11, and now look at him now with Colton Engel, with Julian Rivas, and just so many other playmakers there. Tremendous team. That's going to be another tough one.
The other Class S semifinal, Adam Killingworth taking on Stafford, East Windsor Somers, and what a game. Third quarter, 14-7 HK. Bulldogs on the move. Quarterback Tyler Ouellette to Colton Engel. Nice move, and he gets into the end zone. And we are tied at 14. To overtime we go. Cougars on the 1-yard line. Toby Callender goes into the end zone. HK takes a 21-14 lead. Stafford had one last chance, but HK's defense makes a stand. Cougars win. Final score, 21-14.
Out the other side of the bracket. For more on that, as well as a check on Class L, here's our reporter Andrew Brill.
In one of the Class S semifinals, it was the 7th seed taking on the 3 seed at Enfield High School. The rain didn't dampen the spirits of the Haddam Killingsworth cheerleaders. The conditions did take their toll on both teams, however. Early first quarter, Colton Engel throws a slippery ball to Julian Rivas. He's thrown down by Zach Kaufman and coughs up the football. That leads to the Cougars punching it in from about a yard out to put Haddam Killingsworth on top 7-0. Defense took over from there. In the sloppy conditions, Trey Callender with the sack of Engel. The Bulldogs did start to move the ball. Here, Engel completes again to Rivas, and that's good for a first down. Later, Engel drops back to pass. He'll go short to Sam Lawson. Lawson turns upfield, Following some blocks, the Cougars will finally bring him down after he gets the first down. Bulldogs would tie this game at 14 in the second half, but the Cougars bull their way into the state final with a 21-14 win.